Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Clarissa, and today I am recording my follow-up to my New Year's resolutions that I set way back at the beginning of 2020. Before we go ahead with the video, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, the notification bell, and the thumbs up button so I know to film more future content like this. So I've been recording my New Year's resolutions / goals type thing for the past 2 or 3 years, I want to say, and I kind of want to keep it going. With that said, because of the whole pandemic, I don't know if I'm going to actually put some in place for 2021, or at least early 2021. Maybe just some general ones, just because I don't know if we're still gonna be like in our houses in 6 months, or we're gonna have the vaccine and we're gonna be out of our houses. I don't really know. So I don't want to cater my goals to the current living situation. I just don't really want to do that, but I don't want to dwell too long on that. I want to talk about the goals and resolutions I set for myself for the beginning of 2020. It is now mid-December, which is when I'm filming this, but this will be up later or at the beginning of January. And I wrote some stuff down about a year ago in my planner agenda type book. There is a little section for my notes, and I just wrote out a bunch of different goals. So I haven't looked at it in quite a while. I really am looking forward to seeing what I wrote down, what I did do with them, if I did anything with them. Hopefully I took some type of action, and kind of what my thoughts are and what I'm gonna go do going forward. So let's get on started with the video. So I color coded everything, which really cute, Clarissa, good job on that. So I started with word of the year and I left it blank. Great start, Clarissa. So I didn't put a word of the year, so we'll skip over that one. Places to travel, I put Whistler, and that did happen. My boyfriend and I actually got in our trip right before COVID hit. We went in February of 2020, and we went for 4-ish days. Yeah, I want to say 4-ish days, and it was nice. I wouldn't say we would do that specific spot again, but it was obviously nice to break away from, you know, work, family, friends, and just have us time. And yeah, so that's about all I can say with that one. Only traveled to one place, especially with the pandemic. We weren't able to make any other trips happen. We did want to do a warm trip like October-ish of this past year, but that just obviously didn't happen because of COVID. So maybe next year. And I will check off Whistler with my red pen as well, because that did happen. Books to read. Okay, so I put business books. Pretty general, and then I put Elon Musk book, and then I put another point, research what I want to learn more about. Okay, so beside business books, I put 7. Now, it's not even really written beside. It says business books in brackets on the next line, 7 books, and then beside that says Elon Musk book. So business books, I definitely did not read a ton. I read maybe 2. I do want to say that I did surpass that 7 books that I read this year, and I will be doing a video on my favorites of the year. So I'm happy with that goal. I definitely read more than 7, but they weren't in the business category. If they were more entrepreneurial based, I guess I'll count that. But I did read the Elon Musk book. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, just because there was a little bit too many technicalities and analytics and just the builds of certain companies that I just didn't really care about. I was more interested in Elon's life and such, like his personal life. So that's kind of my gist on that book, but I did read the book, and I did okay with that goal. So I will check that one off with red. Okay, financial goals is in green. I put set up a bank account that makes interest, learn more about stocks, in brackets, basic understanding, continued. Okay, so I did set up a bank account that makes interest for my savings, and it is not with like my home bank, so I did do that. I will put a check mark. Good job, Clarissa. And stocks. I didn't, if I'm being honest, put too much effort into learning about stocks or the stock market. I feel like I often ask my boyfriend the same questions about stocks, and I just have yet to absorb it. So yeah, I didn't do that, so I'm sorry, Clarissa, I'm putting an X on that. Next category was habits to break, and I put that in blue, and I wrote having a plate that's too full. Well, I definitely can put a check beside that, because with the pandemic, it definitely gave me some more time to stop and breathe and just take my time on video editing and podcasts. Towards the beginning of the pandemic, when it first hit, I was FaceTiming people who I hadn't talked to in quite a long time, so I was able to kind of keep a lot of connections alive, which was good. I will thank the digital world for that and allowing FaceTime and Zoom and Skype to be a thing. So I definitely will say my plate was definitely not super full for 2020. But I will say with saying that, I definitely missed it a bit. Like I miss being busy and having a pretty full schedule, not to the point where I'm stressed out of my mind, but I really did like, you know, structure of, well, a year or more ago now, you know, working at the bar and then going to the gym, coming home, doing some editing. Next day I had off, I would go film a video, start that edit, and then go to the gym. Next day I'd go back to the bar, use that evening, start editing. I was in a very good routine and I miss that routine a lot. It definitely makes me take for granted those times, and I'm really hoping and looking forward to getting back to them soon. So there's that. The next category is health and fitness goals. I put this in pink. I put my numbers that I wanted to max on my compound movements. So this will be interesting because I will be honest, I already know these are probably not accurate. Well, bench. This is funny because I put what number I thought I could hit, and then my boyfriend put a number of what he thought I could hit. And he's probably right. It's just like sometimes you're in your own head and you need that person to push you at the gym. So for bench, I guess we kind of collectively agreed 115 would be my max on, and I will say I just hit 100 pounds on bench this year, which was an amazing fun moment. I'm pretty sure I have it on video, so I'll throw in the clip here. And then my non-conservative number was 135 pounds. So that's like my warm-up weight for deadlifting. Right now can't imagine hitting 135, but a year from now I might be hitting 135. So I don't want to like dismiss that and be down on myself, because I do feel like I can hit that, especially with benching as many times as my coach has programmed into my gym routine. For hip thrusting, the conservative number was 375 pounds. And then the non-conservative was 400. Now, I didn't hit that. My working weight is 325 for hip thrust, and I can see myself doing 375, but that's heavy. It's heavy. For a 1 rep max, I definitely think I could definitely do 400 pounds, but it's also such a workout to get the weight on the bar. If you hip thrust, I'm sure you can relate. So didn't quite hit that. Deadlifting, okay, I put conservative 205 pounds and then non-conservative 225 pounds. So deadlifting, that's funny. I am actually doing working sets for 200 pounds right now, so I definitely could hit that. And maybe I'll throw in a clip right now of me doing it, because I'm filming this in the middle of December, knowing that a lot of these goals won't be feasible to do by December 31st, but I definitely think I'd be able to throw 5 more pounds on my deadlift. That will happen, so I'm not going to do anything with that yet. The last one is squat. Now I will say squatting, I did actually give up this year. I haven't squatted with the barbell and weight on in 6 to 8 months. My knees were just like really taking the heat for it, and yeah, I was just sick and tired of them aching and hurting all the time, and the longevity of my limbs matters to me, and I want to be able to be a mom one day and be able to run around, not have my knees hurt, and pick up my kids and just still be able to work out and stuff. So I know I definitely could squat just lighter weight, but I just got rid of the movement completely. The most I'll do is like a goblet squat with a dumbbell, because those don't irritate my knees. But the squat, the conservative weight we put was 200, and the non-conservative was 215, and the most I've ever squatted was probably 180. So, I mean, 200's not far off. I definitely think could have happened, but it didn't. So I'm Xing off bench, Xing off hip thrust, check marking deadlift, because I'm manifesting, I'm putting it out there, it's happening, I'm gonna do it, and squat, not happening. All right, continued for the health and fitness. Wow, I put a lot of stuff for this category. Hot yoga at least once a month. I definitely did do that before the gyms closed down, because I was at a gym that had hot yoga included. I wasn't paying anything extra, so it was nice having that built into my like gym cost. And I think I actually started to go once a week The weeks that I could, I would do the gym 4 days and then I would do hot yoga the 5th. So 5 days a week, I was pretty active in the gym. So I'm gonna put a red check because that did happen. And the last one I put is make more use of the pool in the summer, once a week. I definitely made more time for it because we were in the pandemic, so we didn't have many places to go. Not as much as I'd like to admit that I used it, but I will put a check because I used it more than I did last year. The next category is YouTube, and that I wrote in red. So I put Attain Monetization, which actually did happen at the end of April of this year, 2020. So that was a really fun, exciting moment to now get paid again for my content that I upload. So that is nice. And then I put upload at least twice a week. Okay, so I did this for the first half of the year, and then the second half, I keep reverting back to this, but the pandemic just really started to affect me mentally, and I just wasn't as fresh and, you know, creative with my content, and it got me kind of stuck in a rut. So I wasn't uploading twice a week. I'm still not uploading twice a week anymore. I have now reverted. I would say the first half of the year was twice a week. It was an episode for my podcast and a YouTube video, and now it's once a week, and it's either a podcast episode or a video, and I try to like to rotate them. So if this week I upload a podcast episode, then next week I'll upload a video, and then keep flip-flopping back and forth. So there's that. I will put an X because that did not happen throughout the entire year. Podcast, I put at least every other week, so that actually did happen, and at times I was uploading even more than that. So that was pretty good, but there was a quick 2-month sprint there that I wasn't uploading to my podcast platform just because I wasn't feeling it. The pandemic really put a damper on reaching out to guests, having them come on. People were very busy at that time, so that didn't fully happen. The next category is general goals, and I put this in brown. I put work on more award shows, at least one. So this couldn't really happen because of the pandemic, but I was signed up to work for, what is it called? Canadian Screen Awards? I think it was the Canadian Screen Awards, if I'm remembering correctly. It was scheduled to be at the end of March, and then the pandemic hit, so that didn't happen. So it's not really my fault in doing. Like, I didn't make that happen and then couldn't achieve that goal, so hopefully I can do that next year. I put keep connections alive in the media industry. I do think I did an okay job with that. So that's like, you know, reaching out to my former, I guess, employer or mentor that I had at my internship when I was back in school. I did a little thing for him. And then, yeah, I couldn't do much else just because COVID. So everyone was at home. I couldn't really go meet people for coffee and network. So there's that. And then my last goal for that category was not being so influenced, and I'm gonna put a check mark. Yeah, I definitely think I've been better. It's a really hard thing with social media nowadays because you follow so many people, and you know, some celebrities, some influencers, and sometimes you just have to know when you have to click the mute notifications button or the unfollow button because seeing their page is mentally negatively affecting you. Whether that's body image, whether that's the amount of followers they have, the amount of success they have. So I think I have been doing better in that respect. So I really kind of filtered out, and I do a nice cleanse. But the only cleanse I'll do is, you know, filter out the people that, you know, aren't prevalent into what I'm trying to go for anymore. When it comes to buying activewear, athletic wear, I buy a lot. I definitely influence with that. That one I have to get better at because it's like this new legging came out, this new company launched this. I'm signed up on the email list. Like, that's just how it is. So I do have to get better with that. The last category is financial goals. I thought I already put this one. So I extended this onto the next page because it didn't fit on the first, and it's still under the green category. So I put invest blank in stocks so that I start collecting compounding interest and also learn a basic grasp of how stocks work. Okay, we already established that. I didn't do that. Put 50% of my current savings into a stock account. Resave the 50% I put into stocks and add another 25. Okay, so I did put the 50% of my current savings into the stock account, but I did not resave the 50 and put in another 25. I haven't done that, so I'll put an X. So that sums up my follow-up on my 2020 goals. Let me know in the comments below if you hit any of your goals this past year. I know it's been really difficult with the pandemic and it did put quite a damper and a wrench in plans, but let me know, did you do your best? I mean, that's all that we can really count for at the end of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one.